Welcome to my second tutorial here on my YouTube channel. I'm Jennifer Thomas. I'm a pianist, violinist, composer, and Yamaha recording artist. I had so much great feedback from you guys on my first tutorial for Illumination, so thank you so much for that. I'm super glad that you guys enjoyed that. Please take a second to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date for more future tutorials, as well as my other content like vlogs, official music videos, and behind the scenes. So if you're new here, I'm just going to quickly let you know how this works. The first part of the video, I give what is kind of a mini piano lesson where I go over fingering, technique, and any other questions that you guys have left in the comments about these songs. And then at the end of the video, I do the overhead shot with a MIDI score so you can see the full keyboard as well as hear the whole song. So this tutorial is for my original song called A Beautiful Storm. It was another highly requested song from you guys. This song originally appeared on my debut album, Key of C, back in 2007. It's one of the first songs that I actually ever wrote. But over the years, it's gained more popularity, and especially last year because Japanese figure skater Rika Kihira used it in her long program.
時代を切り開いていく。トリプルアクセル、トリプルトウループ、綺麗に決まりました。
And then it sort of blew up its popularity worldwide because she was winning all of these competitions and setting world records with it. I found my music mentioned everywhere from ESPN, NBC Sports, the Wall Street Journal, to Japan Billboard, Japan Yahoo. And if it couldn't get any crazier, I ended up getting a Japanese record deal from Avex Entertainment in Japan. With that being said, I feel like I definitely need to explain to you the different versions of the songs out there because I get asked this a lot. Why are there so many versions of the songs? Which is which? What are the differences? So the first rendition is the original version, which appeared on my first debut release of the album. You can't even buy this version anymore. It's not in print any longer. In 2017, I came out with a 10-year anniversary edition of the album. All of the songs were remastered and they sound more concert hall-ish. And I also added 4 bonus tracks to this version, as well as A Beautiful Storm. I redid that, re-orchestrated it, and made it more epic. And then last year, there was a Japan-only edition of the album that came out just in Japan. And this version also has a solo piano version on the album that is just exclusive to the Japan-only edition, which you can only get in Japan. As for sheet music of the song, I mean, in addition to my own songbooks and my own versions that I sell on my website, there is also a plethora of variations and different songbooks in Japan from J-pop magazines, the Yamaha publication. This one is the one that my label put out, and it has both the advanced and simplified renditions in here. So, but for the purpose of what I make available through my website, there's basically the 2 versions. There's the original and there is the 10-year special edition version. The differences is that the original is more simple and the 10-year special edition is advanced. Also, the 10-year special edition version is the one that you see me playing in my official music video, just FYI. Okay, but for this tutorial, we are mostly going to be concentrating on the 10-year special edition version, which is the more technically challenging version. However, for the intro and outro, I'm also going to include snippets of the original version. So for those of you who want to play the simpler version, I'll include those as well in those sections that we cover. Again, you can find all of my music on my website, jenniferthomasmusic.com, in digital PDFs, physical songbooks, digital songbooks as well. And you can find a limited portion of my catalog on musicnotes.com. And again, just a friendly reminder, I do compose and transcribe most all of my music myself, so please do download a legal copy of the sheet music to support me as an artist. Don't be a pirate. So I actually wrote A Beautiful Storm based off of the themes of a piano concerto written by MacDowell that I actually performed with the symphony several years ago. You can hear some of the themes from the concerto in the intro to my song. So obviously this is one of the most challenging parts of the song, and so we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the intro. If you remember my tutorial for illumination and how I was talking about the precision of the 16th notes and how they needed to be so precise, well, you can pretty much throw all of that out for this tutorial for the introduction of this song because it's a completely different style. The style of the song is passionate with lots of rubato. Rubato is a musical phrase that basically means the tempo can speed up or slow down depending on the emotion of the song. It has no strict tempo. This also means that your own personality can come into play when you perform this song, because how I might play it might be completely different to how another person plays it, or how you play it based on your own rubato phrasing and emotion. So I'm just going to play the very first part of the intro, and again, this is the 10-year special edition version, which is the more technically advanced version. I personally love to push the range of the dynamics and the emotion there, just because you get to use the full range of the piano and you can show off the higher register and the lower register as well. You'll also notice in this section that the chords do a lot of this flipping and reversing and back and forth notion. So you'll notice there that in your left hand you're going to be doing a chord grouping of 3 that goes like this. So faster, it's... When you add both hands together, in the sheet music I've written it one way, but when I perform it live, I sometimes revert back to how the concerto version goes. But if you want to follow exactly what the sheet music says, it's going to sound like this. How I play it is more syncopated, which sounds like this. And then when you speed it up, it ends up sounding... So for those of you following the original version of the song, the intro right there is much simpler. It goes like this. So once you get that chord pattern down in your left hand, and you can combine it with your right hand slowly, don't worry about the rubato and the dynamics at this point, just trying to get the rhythm in the chords, then slowly speed it up until you can play it at full tempo. So eventually these chords turn into octaves that then speed up and get faster and faster until it eventually explodes into these huge grand chords at the base of the piano. When you hit those bottom notes at the bass, at the very bottom, these ones, I actually use 2 fingers to hit those. Otherwise, you're hitting them so hard you can actually do some finger damage. And so I'll show you what I do there. These 2 fingers. So I'm actually striking the chord with 3 fingers on that last note. And then you have the arpeggio run up. So anytime you have a rolled chord, you want to hit the top of the chord on the beat. And right here. So you don't want to relax the tempo when you're playing that and it happens after the beat. You want this note to be hit right on the beat. And then we have the run down in octaves. So whenever you have identical octaves, you want to play them with precision so that they actually sound like one note instead of getting any type of sloppiness in there. You want to make sure they sound like one note. Okay. So part of rubato and the flair of this type of passionate romantic music is, again, that you have a lot of liberty to put your own personality into the playing. So for example, at measure 14, when you have these octaves, that if I was just going to play it straight from the music, it would sound like this. But I don't want to play it like that. I want to put some personality and rubato and passion into it. So there's a lot of ebb and flow, and it's going to sound more like this. Another important thing I want to point out there is to not let the pedaling get muddy. I'm going to show you the difference between a muddy pedal and a clean pedal. So this is muddy. All just kind of mushed together. You want to lift that sustain pedal up often enough that you don't get that muddy sound in there. Alright, so the next section, it just continues on with more octaves, and then we eventually get to measure 20, which is some more arpeggios, which is broken chords going up or down. And this is where we want to bring the passion in a little bit and start playing more pianissimo. This is kind of clearing the storm and making way for the next section, which is completely different. So you have these big heavy chords. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover in this mini lesson is the ending of the song, which is the classical outro. And it has more of those back and forth octave chords in the left and the right hand. You're going to strike the left hand bass note at the same time you hit the right hand, and then your left hand is going to join. And actually some of your notes are going to cross and play at the same time, but I'm going to show you how I do that. Alright, and so the original version of the ending is actually much simpler, and it just goes like this. Alright, so I could literally go on and on about different aspects of learning this song with different technical things to work on. However, I don't want to make this tutorial like an hour long, so I'm going to stop there. But what you are going to get to see next is, of course, the full keyboard shot with the overhead MIDI score, and so you can actually watch my fingers and see how I'm playing it for any other confusion or questions that you might have about playing the song. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and again, give me a thumbs up and leave me comments on future tutorials you would like to see, or if you have any more questions about A Beautiful Storm that I can answer for you. Thank you so much. recording? Waiting for everyone to pee so that you guys don't have to hear that. How long does it take to pee? 3 minutes and 57, 58, 59 seconds. No problem. Alright. Okay.